Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. The CDL is back in business. The Major 4 qualifiers begin later on today, but 2 further roster confirmations last night. The Florida Mutineers, is that one an upgrade? Arguably not, but also the Paris Legion. Donny Temp has revealed that they've been looking rather good in scrims with this new team the last few days, beating FaZe on occasion and also seemingly demoralising the London Royal Ravens. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Videos to the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Firstly, happy birthday to Octane for yesterday. Wanted to mention this as well. If you guys haven't seen the results of this already, this was a massive kind of, well, pro player free-fall that went down yesterday. How pros warm up for scrims. Who's winning? So we've got pretty much everyone in here. Drazah, a couple of the LAG coaches, Bevels and Ricky, I guess. Minnesota's coaching Brian Saints. We've got Neptune, Sib, Spart, Max, Standy, Envoy, Accuracy, Looney, CleanX. All the guys are in here, of course, all the Toronto guys as well. Now, I wonder if they had, like, maybe all the FaZe guys in here. Like, I wonder how Cellium would have got on in this, because I feel like often the winner of free falls could be the guy who plays the most credit in certain situations. But yeah, it turns out if you guys want to guess who the winner was, turned out to be CleanX, which are only by 1 point in the end over Neptune, right? So of course, like, you can't really into this too much in terms of who's their best player, but maybe seems okay. The mindless aggression of a guy like CleanX is going to work out well in these situations. With all the Toronto guys in the top 6 here, that was kind of interesting. But also Neptune, right? Just to mention Neptune real quick, because he's stepping back into the Los Angeles Guerrillas. They play later on today, and earlier this season on New York, there was a lot of talk about the fact that like he was eventually the slowest SMG in the league, and he said that it was the team that wanted him to play like that. He didn't really want to play like that. He wanted to play his own game, but Crimsix told him to do that, and therefore he didn't look good. Therefore he got dropped. That was kind of his argument at the start. And in this free fall, obviously he was he had more engagements than anyone else in the lobby. So maybe he's proven, okay, yes, I can play at a fast pace here. We'll see if he actually does that for Los Angeles Guerrillas over the coming days, because they played today up against the Toronto Ultra, I believe. We'll of course look at the matches here in a few minutes time. This first from Clayster, if there's something that being in the pit has actually taught me, is that there's a lot of talent just waiting down there for their opportunity. I think once again we're probably not getting expansion this year, but look, we'll see how it goes. Pretty proud of all my teammates who have gotten their shot over the last couple of months, and I hope they make the most of it and show out. One of those guys, I believe, being Too Real, who is now joining the Florida Mutineers. Confirmed yesterday, a rookie that has proven himself in the trial. So Vivid is gone. Of course, Dave Paddy also gone for Major Maniac, we saw yesterday, and then Too Real is now in place of Vivid on the team as well. Now, Too Real has been a name that I haven't really heard much of until pretty much this season, to be honest. He's not really been around, or not really been considered a kind of on that level in previous seasons. So good for him to get his opportunity. Another rookie into the league is kind of crazy, the amount that we actually have this year. Now, the quality of those rookies, I think, is certainly lower than we've seen in previous seasons. Maybe we'll kind of see that here in just a second. But yeah, congratulations to Too Real getting a spot in the league. And I thought it was interesting, as Shift says, the fact that 3/4 of that Texas Nation team, Havok, aBeZy, and of course, aBeZy not got picked up out of that 4, but General got his brief chance on Optic Texas as well. Obviously, not kind of a permanent thing, but still. And then Kismet also on the New York Subliner side, and also 3/4 of the kind of Wit team, and Brack has not been picked up as of yet. So, I mean, yeah, here we go. Too Real's in the team officially. Now, look, does this actually change all that much? I mean, first of all, this guy's actually 24. I thought it was kind of incredible. Like, because usually you think of rookie, you think, okay, this guy's got to be 18, 19, 20, something like that. Gives some more hope to those of us who might be 23. Still thinking, okay, is there a chance in the league in the future? So, thought that was rather cool, to be honest. But, of course, this is the actual new team of 4. Sky's Awakening. Like, I don't know if they're ever going to break up these two. I'm not saying they necessarily should. Like, they had good success back in Modern Warfare, right, in 5v5. But since it's gone to 4 versus 4, and these guys have still been on the Florida Mutineers for the last couple of years, like, of course, there was a big talking point last year that you can't have both of these on the same team. I think we did see that really in terms of when they're both running the AR in Cold War. Like, they just took kills away from each other. It wasn't really going to work. Now, with Awakening on the SMG, it seems to have been slightly better. But I'm not sure the Florida Mutineers themselves will ever break this duo up unless another organization comes through and says, okay, we want Skies, we want Awakening or whatever, because Florida, I think, would be open to offers given the type of organization that they are. But yes, Major Maniac is in the place of Dave Paddy. I said a couple of days ago, I do think that's an upgrade on paper. Like, I think Major Maniac is a similar type of player, but probably just better, and also better at search and destroy, and a more clutch player in general. So I think that's kind of where they had some weaknesses. Florida was that, like, they would always lose their game 5s. They would often win some respawns, go to game 5s, but usually they would lose their game 5s in crucial series. And I'm pretty sure it was the same thing that happened actually when Los Angeles Guerrillas made that crazy losers bracket run to win Major 2, when they were down 5-3 at game 5 search and destroy to Florida on Desert Siege, and Florida choked 3 rounds in a row, and LAG won that one and went on to win the tournament, right? So that's kind of the thing that Florida Mutineers like to do on occasion, and also their World Championship qualification spot is very much in jeopardy as well. We'll see that here in a few minutes time. So I do think they get better in their kind of game 5 search and destroys. I don't know if their respawn improves though, right? Because Too Real, like, look, there must have been a reason why they got rid of Vivid. I guess they just thought he was too fast paced or whatever. I don't don't necessarily think that was a good idea. Maybe 2will plays slightly more reserved in the SMGs, but in terms of raw ability, like there's no way he's going to be able to match Vivid in that sense, right? So I think they've upgraded in one sense, they've downgraded elsewhere, but they should be a scarier force game 5. So I do think they get marginally better, this new team, just because of the kind of search and destroy improvements they should have. But yeah, it's of course far from guaranteed, and other teams are trying to upgrade as well. None other than the Paris Legion also. So John, 2016 World Championship winner, MVP of that tournament. Like his career might finally have come to an end now, right? It's kind of been a slow burn of the last couple of years. Los Angeles Thieves, this team as well here on Paris. Like yeah, definitely been pretty underwhelming, it must be said, the last few months. John is gone. Johnny is into the teams. Okay, it still cracks me up that this is actually a thing, but Johnny's gone, and they've pack-a-punched him up to Johnny. Johnny's name isn't even Johnny, it's Giancarlos, as you can see on the left-hand side here. This guy's one of the youngest rookies we've seen. Of course, 2real 24. Johnny's just 18, cracked out 18-year-olds. Also kind of fits the narrative of the short in stature SMG player, which, we might see here in a second, but he's only just graduated from high school. It's kind of crazy. He also looks so young as well. Right? Look at this guy. It's like, I think Clayster was saying to reply, congrats kid, all this type of stuff. So congratulations to Johnny. He's in the league, and apparently they're looking rather good as well. So it's exciting to see how this might well go. But as Chrono actually points out right here, like the amount of rookies we have this year, Johnny and 2will make their debut this weekend. That's now 13 rookies. You could maybe also include Scrappy and Hicks, who subbed in and played one series both for the Toronto Ultra. But yeah, so many rookies this year. But in terms of the actual rookie class, in terms of compared to previous years, let's just say when you've got the likes of Shotzzy and Simp making their debuts 2019, 2020 respectively, this year's rookie class might not be quite as strong, but then again, you do have the likes of Sib and of course Pred as well, and names like that. So I think certainly a strong rookie class and an awful lot of rookies as well, it must be said, this year. But with this new Paris Legion squad, of course, they've kept the same rest of the team. I believe John is now going to be their substitute. I don't know if they actually said it right here, but yeah, effectively, as they say, yeah, John will be moved to the substitute spot for the remainder of the season. So for the remainder of the stage, effectively. So thought that was good from Paris, right? At least keeping John on his contract, because with the other players they had, they just completely cancelled their contracts and kept Theory as their substitute, right? Now at least John is a sub, so they're at least respecting his contract to the end of the season, which I thought was a step in the right direction, really, for the Paris Legion. But yeah, Zero tweets this out, right? So he's obviously he's in the rain, he's not having a good time, and Temp replies with this. Now, if you look at the replies actually to this tweet, you'll find a lot of replies here from Gravity. Come on, it couldn't have been that bad. We've even got of course the one from Temp right here, and then also from Johnny, my bad dog, right? So effectively saying that Paris played London in scrims and absolutely demoralized them so badly. Like if you're getting beaten badly by Paris, you might be chalked. Or maybe this new Paris roster is just absolutely godlike with Johnny instead of John, right? Who knows? Now, well, this came out last night, so Temp effectively went on stream. He's been killing it lately, obviously, on the content side, but he was pretty much leaking some of their scrim results against some of the top teams. Now, London being one of them, of course, this being one of their new teams, well, their new team, Nasty, Gizmo, Afro, and Zero, back in business. This is they're here on a Tuscan hardpoint, getting 100-point college by Paris. And whenever this happens, you might be chalked. But at the same time, maybe this new Paris team is actually something rather special. Temp here goes 35 eliminations, 9 deaths. If you're dying 9 times, honestly, you're just playing ranked play at that point. Now, Theory is definitely Johnny, not their coach Theory. We believe that effectively, in order to play on the scrim servers that the players play on, they have to have a CDL account in order to make that happen. And probably because Johnny wasn't announced at this point, they didn't have the CDL account officially made. So Johnny, I'm guessing, was in this team. He had almost 2 minutes of hill time. It's yeah, Temp seemed pretty confident in this team. Of course, there was just one map from this particular scrim, but just the way that Zero was tweeting made it sound like he wasn't, having a particularly good time, even scrimming the likes of the Paris season. So are Paris good, or are London just terrible? That's another question. Or can you not read into it too much because it's only scrims? But he does also go on to show here that they played FaZe in the scrim, and look, I don't know how many maps they won out of this FaZe series, but they won this map in particular, a Bacage hardpoint, where FaZe are very good, it must be said, right? FaZe are probably the best Bacage hardpoint team. Actually, probably it's Seattle Surge. Seattle, FaZe, then maybe Florida, I don't know, at least old Florida, and Optica there or thereabouts as well on that map, and Toronto decent as well, I think. But still, FaZe are one of the best teams, probably the second best team on Bacage hardpoint in the game, and Paris take them down, 250-241. Of course, look, only a scrim at the end of the day, but still, pretty impressive stuff here, right? The Temps thinking, okay, this new Paris team is a force to be reckoned with, right? And look, we've seen so far this season, every single event we've had has had a different winner. Look, if Paris come through and win Major 5, that'll be a story for the ages. Don't think it's going to happen, but yeah, still, they seem confident that they've upgraded their team. Temp, of course, is still there. I was kind of hoping that Temp might get bought out elsewhere, but look, if Paris is going to be competitive this stage, then I'm all for it, right? And I do think that pretty much the way John was playing, it shouldn't have been too hard to upgrade on him, but then again, both the SMG players, including Jimbo, had a 0.6 in Search and Destroy last stage, so I still think their Search and Destroy might be suspect this team, which probably is going to cost them in terms of actually winning series. But look, if they can start winning some hard points more than they were before, they at least create a more exciting prospect that we've seen it from Paris so so far this season. Let's talk some of the matches coming up today then. So Shotzzy is in business. A question right now as to whether he's still kind of the MVP of the year so far. Cellium, of course, there or thereabouts. Dashy just behind. And then I'd probably put Sib and Pred kind of in the ballpark as well for MVP conversation. But for now, I think Shotzzy still takes the cake for me. Definitely in terms of like in terms of impact and value. And well, of course, we're talking most valuable player. I think Shotzzy still is ahead of the pack right now. But if Optic don't have the results for the rest of the season, that story could, of course, very much change. This is also to mention because it's bounty week again. Well, it's not bounty week this time, but there are 6 bounty matches over the coming qualifiers. 2 of which come up this week. One of which I believe is today, which we'll see, of course, here in a couple of seconds' time. So yeah, 10 racks on the line for both of these games. I don't really know who cares about the extra $10,000 going to the team that wins. Like, it's kind of a nice gimmick, really, but you could put this $10,000 to way better use. I know that EasyMac has suggested that you could do something where, okay, you have to predict the winner in the kind of CDL pick'ems, and then whoever predicts it correctly, the map score correctly, that 10k gets distributed among the fans. Like, that'd be one way to do it, or you can just put this towards Challenger's prize pool or whatever. Like, there's got to be a better use of that $60,000 you would think for these bounty games, especially because they had the feedback from when they did it first time around in Major 3 qualifiers, and people said, okay, this is kind of cool, but you could put that 60k to better use, and now they've just done it again effectively. So I feel like they could have done a better job taking on board feedback here. But these are the point standings. I think I shared these the other day and got the wrong ones. But really, the other day I was just trying to show New York won 70 points, as they still are in this graphic. But this is how it presently sits. So we've seen the Florida Mutineers making changes. They're actually out of the money right now. They're on 110 points only. They're, of course, only 10 points behind Los Angeles Thieves. But I mean, yeah, effectively the other teams that have made changes, Boston and Los Angeles Guerrillas, they pretty much have to improve because Minnesota, we know, are solid. They should win a decent percentage of these online games. On LAN, who knows what's going to happen, right? But Minnesota know they need to catch up. Los Angeles Thieves also, they are kind of in jeopardy, right? Yes, they came top 4 at the major. That was good for them. But I mean, yeah, still, if they're not any good online, they're in a serious amount of danger if Florida also improve, right? But the thing is, I'm not sure that Florida or Los Angeles Guerrillas really improved, to be honest. So I feel like Thieves might end up being okay here, but we'll see how it goes. Boston, I think, did get better, but of course, that will only play out over the coming matches as well. Subliners, as I say, they still have a chance, right? They can make a crazy run if they win 4 out of 5 of their qualifiers and win the major. They should qualify because they can go up to 185 points here theoretically, which would be enough to qualify, but of course that starts today. Only 8 to make it through. These are the 3 games then of today. So Florida versus New York. This is of course the first series with Florida with their new team. Will they have a honeymoon period? I'm not convinced. I think Florida can certainly win this, but right now I do think New York are the better team until proven otherwise, and New York of course have, you know, maybe not necessarily more to play for. It's a must win for both teams, but I feel like New York might just edge this one out, something like a 3-1. Optic versus Boston. To me, Boston so far this season, like, this is such an easy series to predict with their old roster, right? There was no way that old Boston team is ever beating Optic because they always just fell short against the top teams effectively. With Vivid in, maybe it's a different story. I still feel like Optic should beat them though. Like, they're always good in these online matches. Yes, they've had a few days here with Prelude. Don't have their full team, but they know they've just got to make the best of the situation. So I'm taking New York, I'm taking Optic, and then you really can't look past Toronto, right? Their Search and Destroy has been way too good. Los Angeles Guerrillas, I don't know if this new team is necessarily an upgrade. I'm going to take 3-1 Toronto, 3-1 Optic, and 3-1 Subliners. You guys know I'll have a 3-1 fashion, baby. But I'm very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tell us YouTube gods, this is a good video, and I was like you should see it as well. And I grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.